Hey guys, so with this discussion, I recorded it, and I discovered afterwards when I was editing it that there's a little bit of inconsistency with my mic quality, so I apologize for that. There's a few little parts here and there in the discussion where it just gets really, really loud. I hope I don't blow any of your eardrums out, but that's kind of what's going on. Anyway, here's the regular scheduled discussion. Hey guys, what's going on? Hayden here. I'm here to talk to you guys about this Mario and Luigi remake, rumor, leak, whatever you want to call it. But I am not alone. I am joined by Super Smash 77, and we're just going to kind of discuss, our general thoughts about this rumor, this leak, and kind of get into the nitty-gritty of what we want to see changed, what we want to see stay the same, if this, of course, happens to be true. But first of all, let's just get our general impressions. Do you think this is real, and what do you think of this just overall?
I do think it's real, but I will say I'll also be surprised if it's real, because I didn't actually think Nintendo cared enough about the Mario and Luigi series to actually remake, or I guess remaster, one of the games. But if it is real, I'm going to be pretty hyped, because this is my favorite game in the series.
Yeah, so this kind of came out of nowhere. So I'm kind of opposite to you. I actually think Nintendo really does care about the Mario and Luigi series, based on the fact that we've gotten two 3DS entries, fairly close to each other, one of which incorporating Paper Mario, which is a very beloved franchise. I don't know, I think that they do really have an attachment to Mario and Luigi, especially because it is now their mainstay Mario RPG series. Paper Mario, of course, being action-adventure now. So, I don't know, but this does definitely surprise me. That said, I'm cautiously leaning towards this being real.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seems like it's going to be real. I don't know. Something about it just doesn't seem fake to me. I don't see why someone would fake this of all things.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just such an out there idea, like remaking a Mario and Luigi game. Like, that's not something that I would have ever thought. But if this does end up being true, this is very exciting for 3DS owners, because this still, we do have Hey Pikmin, we do have Fire Emblem Echoes, we do have, what is it, Miitopia or whatever, coming to the 3DS. So there's still a fair amount of content, but this, if it's true, could be a very big game. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, it's same with you. It's my favorite Mario and Luigi game, and it's some people's favorite Game Boy Advance game. It's one of my favorite Game Boy Advance games. I think this is just a really smart idea, and it looks like it's not only just a remake, because so this comes to us from Sires M on Twitter, this rumor leak, whatever you want to call it. He data mined the 3DS eShop, and he found, not only did he find an icon for the game, like a 3DS icon, but he also found the supposed full name of the game, being Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions. And even in that little icon, you can see a picture of a Goomba with a flag on it, indicating that there's something else going on there besides Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, I actually did hear about that, and I'm kind of interested to see what Bowser's Minions is. Is it just like a mini game? Is it possibly a side story? I'm kind of thinking that it's a mini game, like with the original Superstar Saga. I believe it came with the original Mario Bros, right? In the cartridge.
It came with every advanced Mario game.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it's probably something like that. And on the topic, I am kind of curious if they're going to re-include those classic Mario games again or not. I doubt it, but it would be nice.
I didn't think about that, but that would actually be cool if they did include that really classic Mario Brothers, but just kind of, update it to look like as if it was, a classic game re-released or remastered on the 3DS. But Bowser's Minions, I have no idea what they're going for there, because the Mario and Luigi series, they have mini-games kind of built into the adventure. So I almost wonder if this is more than a mini-game and almost like, a side game. Kind of like how they did with Star Fox Zero, where you got Star Fox Zero, but you also got Star Fox Guard kind of with it. So I'm almost wondering if it's something kind of like that. Maybe not a tower defense game, but just like, a bite-sized game to go with Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, I'm thinking it probably is something like that. And honestly, the fact that it does come with another game, most likely, kind of makes me think that this is a remake, or not a remake, a remaster rather than a full remake, which I'm fine with. I don't really think the game needs a full-on remake, because the level design and enemy designs and everything are pretty good in the game. It really just needs updated graphics.
Yeah, so I guess that's kind of a good launching off point. So let's talk about what we want to see stay the same and what we want to see changed a little bit. Now let's stick with the stuff that we want to see the same. Now you mentioned talk about the graphics a bit, because I'm interested to see what you have to say there.
Okay, so I do want them updated, but not like the new Mario and Luigi games. I don't really want it to be 3D. I'd rather them just like remake the sprites and just make it look really good in 1080p, or not 1080p. I guess it would be 480p for the 3DS. I would prefer them not to go with the new style, but I wouldn't mind it. I just feel like the sprites are a lot nicer. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Not too much I want changed with the art style itself.
I completely agree with you. I want it to stay with the sprites and the pixels and whatnot, but make it like Bowser's Inside Story. That game is just some of the best example of pixel art I've ever seen. That game is gorgeous. To me, it looks way better than the 3DS games. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the 3DS art style, like for Dream Team and Paper Jam, but Bowser's Inside Story, I think, is the prettiest Mario and Luigi game. And if they updated it to make it maybe look like that with like very fluid animations while still staying sprite-based, I would love that.
Yeah.
So what else would you like to see kind of stay the same with the original Mario and Luigi?
To be honest, I want to see most of it stay the same, but the main thing I want the same is the combat. I don't want them touching that at all. Just keep it exactly the same.
Again, totally agree with you. The battle system needs to stay the way it is. I don't want any new gimmicks in there. If they wanted to maybe add in a few new attacks, I guess I'd be okay with that. But the battle system, like with the bros moves and whatnot, and just like the enemy variation and the enemy attacks and whatnot, it all just works so well. Like, battles were a lot of fun to get into. I didn't want to avoid them. And I also want them to keep the... I don't see why this would be a problem, but I want them to keep the speed, the snappiness of the battles, because like you just get in, you fight, and you get out. I love how fluid the battles are, and if they change anything too major, I'm gonna be a little disappointed.
Yeah, I completely agree.
So there's one other thing I want them to keep the same. I definitely want them to keep the same that other Mario and Luigi games didn't really do, and that is the fact that this game is fairly open. You can kind of go, you know, after that first kind of section or whatever, where you're on Bowser's airship and you crash land into the field, you can pretty much go most places. There's some areas that'll be like cut off because you don't have the right ability yet, or a certain story objective hasn't happened yet. But there's a lot of places that you can go, and sometimes you might get into a battle with an enemy that's way too tough for you. So you're like, oh man, I shouldn't explore in here yet, or maybe I should, because maybe I can get a little bit stronger, a little faster. I want them to keep that, because the other Mario and Luigi games felt very linear, and I think Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga struck a really good balance of keeping it open, but also kind of guiding you, you know, showing you where you should go.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, like I said earlier, I really do hope this is a remaster, not a remake, because none of the level design at all needs changing. They already did a fantastic job originally, and I really do hope they keep it all the same.
I kind of agree, and I guess this is a good place to kind of launch into our changes that we want to see for the game, because I don't really have any like major changes I want to see. Again, I agree with you, this game is very well made already, but just some kind of like nitpicky, like quality of life things that I kind of want to see changed. And the first of which is the action commands. There are a lot of action commands in this game. There's, of course, your regular jumping, there's the hammers, there's the super jumping, there's the spinning. I'm pretty sure there's digging in this game, there's the elemental, fire, and electric. There's a lot, and I get with the Game Boy Advance they were limited to 2 buttons, being A and B, but with the 3DS, assuming this does come to the 3DS, which it looks like it's going to, you've got 4 face buttons on there. So what I would kind of like to see is maybe have A and B stick to jumping, because you're going to be using jumping the most, but be able to cycle through what X and Y do as your secondary commands, just to kind of, you know, tidy that up just a little bit.
You know, I actually completely forgot how bad mapped the action commands were until you brought it up, so I completely agree. I hope they do that.
Yeah, because like I hated, like, because there's certain areas in the game, especially late in the game, where you're going to be swapping through like the high jump and the spin like almost constantly, and then sometimes like you just get into a habit of clicking R like way too many times, and you cycle through the wrong one. It's like, oh, I gotta go through that again. So that is definitely something I would like to see changed. Again, if they just had the jump buttons as your constants and then cycle through the other special abilities, that'd be fine. I don't think they need to add any more special abilities. Just kind of tidy up what they have there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really, like I said, there's not much I want them to change. I wouldn't mind them including the unused cameos they originally had for the game.
Yes.
Why they weren't included originally, I have no clue. Maybe Nintendo just said no. But that's something I really would like them to add back into the game if it ever really was in the game. But besides that, not too much. Maybe some post-main game content, but I don't know.
Yeah, so that's sort of one of the things I have a few things on here. Again, nothing major. But I would like to see, and this maybe even ties into Bowser's Minions. But I would love to see the mini games like in the game sort of kind of turned into a multiplayer mode, because it's cool that you have in the original game where you had like the Mario Bros attached with it. But I would love to, some of these mini games I would love to just fool around with a little bit with friends. Like there's the one where you're jumping rope or whatever. Maybe you could do like a elimination thing, like who can last the longest. I don't know. I just feel like some of those mini games could kind of work as fun little multiplayer games that you maybe play once or twice. I don't know, just to add a little bit more to the game.
Yeah, I would love online jump rope. That would actually be pretty fun.
Oh my god, like have leaderboards and everything.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe more side quests, because I don't remember there being too many in the game, unless I'm just remembering wrong.
I actually played through the game fairly recently. I was playing through a bunch of games just waiting for the Switch to come out, and Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga was one of them. And you're right, there's not a whole lot of side quests, at least compared to the Paper Mario games or some of the newer Mario and Luigi games. Like Bowser's Inside Story, that actually had a fair amount to do in it. Just kind of side quest related, collectibles and whatnot. So maybe if there was just a little bit more incentive to explore the world, I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
Sorry, did you have another one?
Oh, no.
I would also like them to kind of improve the map a bit. Because Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, it actually has a fairly big world in it. And the map that's in the original game, and again, I get it, the Game Boy Advance, they were limited hardware. But now that you're on the 3DS, I would love to see one of the screens used as a constant map inventory screen, what have you and whatnot. It's similar to like what the Zelda games did on the Wii U. I would love to be always able to have a map, and have a map that's interactive, be able to zoom in on an area and see maybe where enemies are, like on the map. Go all in with the map, because right now, all you can really see is which section of the map Mario and Luigi are in. You can't see exactly whereabouts they are in the map, so I would just like to see them kind of update the map a bit.
Yeah, I mean, if that's not included in the game, I'm honestly going to be pretty worried for the remake.
Yeah, because that's just like the perfect, like, easy way to make use of the screen. So that's definitely something that I think should be included, but I mean, if it's not, it works like it is already, but I don't know. I hope it is. I do have one more, if you don't have anything else, and it's kind of a silly one, but I want them to be able to have their Italian gibberish. I love that from like the newer Mario and Luigi games where they just spout out random noises whenever they're conversing, and there's like actually no dialogue. I want them to kind of incorporate that. It really gives them personality.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see that. Now, one thing I was kind of thinking of, I am, like I've been saying, really hyped for this remaster remake. But I'm kind of wondering, depending on how this sells, is this going to kind of determine where they take the Mario and Luigi series? Like, if it sells well, are they going to make the games more like the older ones, or are they just going to continue on the path they're on?
That's an interesting point you bring up, because the Mario RPGs, like both Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi, are kind of in a bit of a weird situation right now, because Mario and Luigi is the series, seemingly, that people like less than Paper Mario. But Paper Mario is going in a direction that has fans worried. I personally enjoyed Color Splash, but I can see why people are a little worried with the direction Paper Mario is going in. So I gotta wonder if this is real, which again I do think this is real. What is going to be the future of the Mario and Luigi series? Are they going to keep remaking games, or are they just going to keep moving forward with a more classic style of Mario and Luigi game? They haven't changed that much, but they have changed somewhat.
Yeah, I think if it does sell well, I think at one point in the future we're definitely gonna get a Inside Story remake, because that's everyone's like second favorite game or their favorite game. But it's kind of just interesting for Nintendo as a whole. They seem to be really testing the waters for their past stuff, because not only are they remaking this, but they also have the Fire Emblem remake coming out next month.
Yeah, that's a good point, because Nintendo has really, really just been hammering out these remakes lately. I mean, we've got the Pokemon remakes, which have been coming out for a while. Zelda remakes now. Like you said, there's a Fire Emblem remake. Like, there's a lot of stuff being remade, and it's kind of exciting because there are a lot of games in Nintendo's catalog that either we didn't get to play because of, you know, localization problems or whatnot, or just there wasn't enough demand, or these games were available to us, but, you know, some elements of those games haven't aged too well. So this is really exciting, just as a Nintendo fan.
Yeah. Now, one crazy idea I actually just thought of, what if they added local multiplayer to the game where one person is playing as Luigi and the other one's playing as Mario?
Oh my god. They have to do that now. You've sold me. I need that in the game. I don't even know why I didn't think of that. And this is just another reason why I would love this on Switch so much. If you had 2-player, you've always got 2 Joy-Con. Like, come on, Nintendo. But it is still good. Like, again, it is still giving people a reason to come back to their 3DS. And I have to say, like, I wasn't planning on picking up any 3DS games this year. I'm not a big Fire Emblem person myself. I can respect the series, but if this does end up being true and it comes out this year, oh my god, I'm definitely gonna pick it up day one.
Yeah.
Well, is that everything? Anything else you want to touch on?
I think my final thought will just be the fact that this rumor/leak conveniently came like right after the 2DS XL announcement.
You're right. That was very, you know, just kind of when we thought the 3DS maybe started to taper off. It's going to start tapering off a bit. No, there's supposedly a new Mario and Luigi game coming. Well, an old new Mario and Luigi game. So, yeah. I don't know. This is really exciting. And again, I really hope this is true. I think it's true. And if it is, I think this is a really good move on Nintendo's part.
Completely agree.
Awesome. Well, I think that wraps it up. So thank you guys, of course, for watching. Tell the people where they can find you at, man.
You can just find me at youtube.com/user/SuperSmash77. I'm also on Twitter under the SuperSmash77, and that's pretty much it.
Awesome. And that does it for us. So thank you guys, of course, again for listening. If you like this video, of course, please leave a like. Don't forget to tell us in the comments, you know, what do you think of this rumor? Do you think it's real? What do you want to see from this remake? What do you want to see stay the same? All that good stuff. And make sure you subscribe to my channel and follow me on Twitter. Links for those are in the description. And check out Super Smash 77's channel. Alright, see you later, guys. Bye.